On November 15, 2025, Storm Claudia has struck England and Wales with a force that's impossible to ignore. From the moment the first warnings were issued, it was clear this would be no ordinary weather event. The skies darkened, the winds picked up, and a sense of anticipation swept across the country as people braced for what was to come. This isn't just bad weather, it's a major storm system that's swept across Europe, leaving chaos in its path. In city after city, streets have been transformed into rivers, and the relentless downpour has tested the resilience of communities from Lisbon to London. The storm's journey across the continent has been marked by dramatic scenes of nature's fury, with each region facing its own unique challenges. After battering Portugal, it's now unleashing torrential rain and fierce winds here at home. Coastal towns are being pounded by waves and wind, while inland areas face flash floods and power outages. The storm's arrival has brought a sudden dramatic shift in the weather, catching many off guard and forcing people to adapt quickly to rapidly changing conditions. The UK Met Office tracked Claudia's approach, warning of flooding and travel disruption. Meteorologists have been working around the clock, analyzing satellite data and radar images to predict the storm's path and intensity. Their alerts have been crucial in helping authorities prepare emergency responses and keep the public informed about the risks. Fueled by Atlantic moisture, the storm's relentless downpours have turned streams into torrents and fields into lakes. Rural communities are especially hard hit, with farmland submerged and livestock at risk. The landscape has been transformed almost overnight, as water levels rise and familiar places become unrecognizable. Low-pressure systems like Claudia act as giant vacuums, pulling in air and moisture to create clouds, wind, and heavy rain. These powerful weather engines can grow rapidly, drawing energy from warm ocean waters and unleashing it as destructive weather on land. The science behind these storms is complex, but their effects are all too real for those in their path. Meteorologists explain that Claudia's rapid intensification was due to a perfect alignment of atmospheric conditions, warm Atlantic currents, a deepening low-pressure center, and a jet stream positioned just right to steer the storm toward the UK. This combination made Claudia especially dangerous and difficult to predict. Its sheer size means it's impacting huge areas, from the southern coasts to the northern hills. The storm's reach is vast, with heavy rain and strong winds felt hundreds of miles apart. No corner of the country is untouched, and the scale of the disruption is unprecedented for this time of year. For many, today is defined by the sound of rain hammering windows and the sight of rising water. Families huddle indoors, listening to the wind howl and watching as water creeps ever closer to their doorsteps. The relentless weather has brought daily life to a standstill, with schools closed, businesses shuttered, and travel plans thrown into chaos. Roads are impassable, homes are threatened, and communities are being tested. Emergency services are stretched thin, working tirelessly to rescue stranded motorists, deliver supplies, and protect vulnerable residents. Volunteers have come together to fill sandbags and support neighbors, showing the strength and solidarity that emerges in times of crisis. Storm Claudia is a powerful reminder of nature's might and our need to respect it. The raw energy unleashed by this storm is both awe-inspiring and humbling, forcing us to confront the limits of our control over the natural world. It's a call to action for better preparedness and a deeper understanding of the forces that shape our environment. Its story is still unfolding, but its impact is already being felt across the nation. As the rain continues to fall and the winds rage on, communities are coming together to face the challenges ahead. The days to come will reveal the true extent of the damage, but also the resilience and determination of those affected by this mighty force of nature. Storm Claudia's rain hasn't fallen evenly. Some regions are facing the worst of it. Southeast Wales, especially Monmouthshire, and parts of Yorkshire have been hit hardest, with rivers like the Wye and Usk swelling dangerously. The Brecon Beacons and other mountains quickly became saturated, funneling water into valleys and overwhelming flood defenses. In Yorkshire, towns like Castleford and York are grappling with rising river levels and widespread flood alerts. Persistent rain on already saturated ground has created a perfect storm for flooding. The landscape itself, hills, valleys, and floodplains, has concentrated the storm's impact. For those living in these areas, it's an anxious wait as water levels continue to rise. Storm Claudia has exposed the vulnerabilities of our land and communities. In Monmouth, a picturesque town nestled in southeast Wales, the unthinkable has happened. A major incident has been declared as relentless rainfall has pushed the River Wye to its breaking point, transforming the familiar landscape into a scene of chaos and uncertainty. The River Wye, usually a tranquil ribbon winding through the countryside, has burst its banks with alarming force. Water surges through the heart of Monmouth, swallowing streets and parks and threatening everything in its path. Streets that once bustled with daily life are now submerged under murky floodwaters. Homes and businesses, some standing for generations, are inundated. Families are forced to leave behind cherished possessions, evacuating in haste as the water rises, their faces etched with fear and uncertainty about what the future holds. Emergency teams, working tirelessly around the clock, deploy boats to reach those trapped by the deluge. The local community center has been transformed into a makeshift shelter, offering warmth, food, and a sense of safety to those suddenly displaced from their homes. Roads have become rivers, impassable to vehicles, and cutting off entire neighborhoods. The floodwaters are not only damaging buildings and infrastructure, but also destroying treasured belongings, leaving a trail of devastation in their wake. Yet, amid the turmoil, the people of Monmouth are coming together. Neighbors check on each other, share supplies, and offer comfort. Volunteers help distribute food and essentials, and strangers become friends as the community bands together to face the crisis. The battle against the flood is far from over. River levels remain dangerously high, and it will take days, perhaps weeks, for the water to fully recede. The daunting task of cleaning up and rebuilding lies ahead, and for many, the road to recovery will be long and challenging. The emotional and financial toll on residents is immense. Many are left wondering how they will recover from the loss of their homes, their livelihoods, and the memories washed away by the floodwaters. Monmouth's ordeal is a stark reminder of the power of nature and how a single storm can upend an entire community in a matter of hours. The scars left behind will not soon be forgotten, but through it all, the resilience, courage, and unity of Monmouth's people shine through. Their determination to rebuild and support one another is a testament to the enduring spirit of this remarkable town. England too is reeling from Storm Claudia's impact. In Yorkshire, York's flood defences are being pushed to their limits, while towns like Castleford and Holmfirth face significant flooding. The Environment Agency has issued over 150 flood alerts and dozens of warnings across the country. The Midlands and areas along the Severn and Trent are watching river levels anxiously as farmland and villages are submerged. Roads are cut off, isolating communities and making essential services difficult to reach. The scale of flooding is national, affecting millions and overwhelming water systems from streams to major rivers. Storm Claudia's effects will linger as the water slowly drains away. Travel has become a nightmare for thousands as Storm Claudia disrupts England and Wales. Flooded roads and submerged railway lines have brought the transport network to a standstill. Key rail routes, including London to Bristol in South Wales, are closed, stranding passengers and causing chaos. Train operators urge people not to travel unless absolutely necessary. Major roads and motorways are closed or hazardous, with rural routes often impassable. Isolated communities are cut off, and emergency services struggle to reach those in need. The disruption affects daily life, work, appointments, and deliveries are all delayed. It's a stark reminder of how vulnerable our infrastructure is to extreme weather. For now, patience and caution are essential. Always check travel updates before setting out. As Storm Claudia moves away, the weather is about to change again. The turbulent conditions we've seen over the past few days are giving way to a new, colder phase. While the rain may be easing, the atmosphere is far from settling down. The UK is bracing for a significant shift, as a mass of cold air sweeps in from the north, setting the stage for a dramatic drop in temperatures across much of the country. Colder air from the north will replace the rain, bringing a sharp drop in temperatures. Winds will pick up, making it feel even chillier than the thermometer suggests. Many areas that have just dried out from heavy rainfall will now wake up to frosty mornings and biting winds. The sudden change may catch some off guard, so it's wise to prepare for a much colder spell. From Sunday, expect a wintry chill with the risk of snow and sleet on higher ground in the north. Upland areas in Scotland, northern England, and even parts of Wales could see accumulations of snow, making travel tricky. Lower-lying regions may see sleet or icy rain, especially overnight. The wintry mix will bring a real taste of winter, with some places waking up to a white landscape. For the first time this season, icy conditions will make roads and pavements hazardous, especially where the ground is still wet from flooding. Black ice could form overnight, catching drivers and pedestrians unaware. Local authorities are urging everyone to take extra care, particularly in the early mornings and late evenings when surfaces are most likely to freeze. Gridding teams are already preparing to treat key routes. A yellow cold health alert is in place for parts of the Midlands and northern England, warning of risks to vulnerable people. The elderly, young children, and those with health conditions are especially at risk from the sudden cold. Health services are advising people to check on neighbors and loved ones, and to keep homes as warm as possible. Community centers may open as warm spaces for those struggling to heat their homes. The transition from flooding to freezing is a double blow for affected communities. Many residents are still recovering from water damage and now face the added challenge of ice and frost. Frozen sandbags and icy debris can make cleanup efforts even more difficult, and the risk of slips and falls increases. Those without power or heating face new challenges as temperatures plummet. Prolonged outages mean some families are relying on blankets, candles, and extra layers to stay warm. Local charities and emergency services are working to provide support, but the cold snap is putting extra pressure on already stretched resources. The end of the rain is just the start of a new set of weather hazards. As the UK moves from storms to a deep freeze, staying informed and prepared will be crucial. Keep an eye on local forecasts, look out for weather warnings, and take steps to protect yourself and your community from the challenges ahead. In times like these, expert advice is crucial. The Met Office and Environment Agency issue weather and flood warnings, amber and yellow for rain, alerts and warnings for flooding. A flood alert means be prepared. A flood warning means act now. Severe warnings signal danger to life. The UK Health Security Agency has also issued a cold health alert, urging people to keep homes warm and check on the vulnerable. Official guidance is constantly updated online and through local channels. Ignoring these warnings puts lives at risk. Trust the experts. They have the data and experience to keep us safe. Staying informed is the best way to protect yourself and your community. When severe weather hits, practical steps can save lives. Never walk or drive through floodwater. It's deeper and more dangerous than it looks. If you're at risk, move valuables upstairs and prepare a flood kit with essentials. Know how to turn off your gas, electricity, and water. As temperatures drop, wear multiple layers and check on vulnerable neighbors. If your home is flooded and without power, move to higher, warmer rooms if possible. Always follow emergency services advice. If told to evacuate, do so immediately. Resisting evacuation puts you and rescuers in danger. Stay informed and avoid unnecessary risks. By being prepared and looking out for each other, we can reduce the dangers from both flooding and cold. Safety comes first. Listen, act, and help where you can. As the rain ends and floodwaters recede, recovery begins. The cleanup will be long and tough, but communities are already coming together to help one another. Volunteers, neighbors, and emergency services are working side by side. This spirit of solidarity is our greatest strength in the face of disaster. Storm Claudia is a reminder that extreme weather is becoming more common. We must learn and adapt. Building better flood defenses and resilient infrastructure is essential for the future. Though the scars of this storm will linger, hope remains. The sun will shine again, and with time, towns and villages will recover. Together, we are stronger than any storm. By supporting each other, we will move forward and rebuild.